The AmeriGlo eye sights for your Glock 19. Are they worth it? I've completed my field testing on the next Fit and Fire.
Okay, go ahead.
Welcome to another edition of Fit and Fire, your home for guns and gear and the fitness to run both. I'm Mark and I really appreciate you guys stopping by. If you haven't already entered into the Labor Day giveaway, I'm running through September 15th of 2017. Here's a tag right here to tell you exactly how to enter it in. Come on board, check it out, see if it's something you might be interested in. Maybe become a subscriber with it as well. But this episode is actually about the AmeriGlo eye sights, and it is brought to you by Flying Monkey Gun Works. Jim over at Flying Monkey has put some AmeriGlo eye dots onto my Glock 19 Gen 4. They offer them in several different variations for different pistols, but I'm a Glock guy. I put them on my Glock 4, and this pistol is the one that I use for most of my competition shooting, whether that be IDPA or 3-gun match. And then it sits on my nightstand at night. I have a light from Dagger Defense. It's the Dagger Defense SDO1. And let me tell you, it's a great addition to my home defense. These sights here, I was interested to see how well they would work. I've done an initial impressions video. You can check that out right here. But after taking it to the range and then taking it to the range again and then putting it through an IDPA match, I was actually fairly well impressed with these things. First and foremost, the front sight post is going to show up very well. As soon as you bring that pistol up and present it, your eye is going to fix right on that front sight post. It was an extremely different change from the standard Glock sights. Typically you bring up, you can find your dot on your Glock, and then the back sight ends up obscuring some of the front sight because of that big U right on the back of Glock sights. It's the most annoying thing in the world. So bringing this up, your eye goes straight to that front sight post, and then the rear sight post ends up being just a secondary measure. It allows you to take time to line things up if you have time to do so. So I really appreciated that. The first time I took it out to the range to make sure things were lined up, everything was perfect. Jim from Flying Monkey couldn't have done a better job. And here's some video right here of me shooting targets there at Godfrey's Range in Junction City, Kansas. And had no problems. Shot exactly where I aimed, or at least where I was supposed to be aiming, and it looked really good. I had a lot of fun with that. The next thing I did was I took it out to an outdoor range. Again, Jim from Flying Monkey Gun Works really helped me out here and took me out to some land that I was able to shoot some different iterations. Basically what I did was I holstered it, drew it from the holster, took 2 shots, and then reholstered that pistol. And I was able to do that under a timer. And what it did for me was got me used to being able to draw from holster. It was an outside the waistband holster. It's Safari Land holster for the Glock 19. Was able to draw, present, fire twice, and then place it back into my holster. That allowed me to really start acquiring that sight as soon as I pulled it up. Bring it up, acquire that sight as soon as I present, fire 2 rounds, put it back in. Now my times and my splits are nothing to be satisfied with. In fact, I've been pretty rusty. I hadn't been out to the range in quite some time. But it was nice to be able to draw, present, and find that front sight post very easily. The third thing that I did was I took it to an IDPA match, and I've got some video right here of me shooting. that's me shooting. I'm not the greatest competition shooter in the world. I'm not sponsored by anybody, but I have a lot of fun doing it. And what it really helps me do is get used to drawing my pistol, presenting and firing in a stressful situation. Now, IDPA isn't going to be a real world stress that you might face if you were to get into a situation where someone's trying to mug you or carjack you or, heaven forbid, anything else. But it does put you in a situation where you are pressed for time to not only be accurate, but to be as fast as you possibly can as well. And that's what I appreciate IDPA and why I go to it as much as I possibly can. So what I was able to find was, as I drew my pistol and presented, I started to see the front sight post a lot sooner than I did with the factory Glock sights. And as I got my pistol fully extended, it was lined up exactly where I wanted it. Now, there were some shots that I needed to take my time and really line up my front rear sight posts, make sure I got a really good shot off. But for the most part, I did not have any problems whatsoever finding that front sight post and pulling the trigger as quickly as I possibly could. In fact, there was one situation where I was firing at a target. It was roughly 7 to 10 yards away, and I was moving towards that target. I was able to fire several rounds at the body and then bring it up and fire several rounds at the head as well, and all of my shots were exactly where I wanted them to go. And that is pretty fantastic, especially when there was a no-shoot target that was stapled in there. I've got some B-roll I'm hoping that you guys are able to see. So bottom line is, AmeriGlo IDOT sights, a must-have for your Glock or any of your other pistols that you might be interested in. Check them out. I've got a link to the Amazon site down in the description below, and I'd really appreciate it if you click on that link to go and check them out. Also, I've got the Daniel Defense SD01. I've got a link to that down in the description below. Great tactical light for your pistols. It's perfect for home defense. I mean, it's not too bright. I mean, you can get the Surefires that are 1,000 lumens and you can blind anybody, but these are 200 lumens and it's plenty bright to take care of things around the house, and it's going to be bright enough to distract somebody from what they're doing. So definitely check those out. Like I said, link to those in the description below. So that's it. AmeriGlo IDOT sights for the Glock 19 Gen 4, great. 2 thumbs up. I really encourage you guys to check those out. I think they're probably one of the best aftermarket sights that you can get for your pistols on a budget. I'm a budget guy, and I will say that the sights and the light together is going to come in right at or just below $100, depending on what sales are going on at Amazon. So check those out in the description below. And with that, really appreciate you guys considering to subscribe if this is your first time with Fit and Fire. If you like what I'm doing, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. And if you want to get new notifications of new videos that I'm putting together, hit that bell button right next to the subscribe. And with that, that's all I got. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Here comes a high five. You ready? Here we go.